Hey guys, Dr. Lee here along with Dr. Matt. Hey, so we've got this great seminar coming up, the Immunity Workshop, and what we wanted to do with you is give you just a few minutes on the why behind the importance of getting there, not only for your own knowledge and for your own education, but to also help you become educated to shift this community. You know, since obviously COVID in the last few years, there's been this massive push for having a better overall immune system. And what we've noticed since, COVID's ended or here, I don't know where it's going anymore, but the importance of having a good, healthy immune system is absolutely vital. What we've seen over the last few years is that there's been a massive increase in all of these immune-derived problems: heart disease, cancer, autoimmune conditions, obesity, diabetes, and whether it was from people who got COVID or had the shot or are having just complications in other ways or have changed their lifestyle, we're seeing a lot of this research coming out that I've really never seen before.
Yeah, with whether someone's young or old, there is some bad news, but we're going to help you. We're going to help you through this. So we're going to go through a few things today that are just key takeaways for why this seminar is an amazing opportunity for you to educate you, and then we're going to help you to take action. So to review the first one we have for you, in Nature Journal, this headline reads, "Heart disease risk soars after COVID, even with a mild case. Massive study shows a long-term substantial rise in the risk of cardiovascular disease, including heart disease, heart attack, and stroke, and after SARS-CoV-2 infection." So the cause isn't necessarily the virus per se. It's really how the body reacts to it. And it's really about inflammation. Now, inflammation does result from the virus or from the jab and or both. And there's other things that we can do to take control to actually decrease inflammation to give our body a better chance to fight off whatever the situation is. That includes making better nutrition choices, exercise obviously, and having a properly aligned spine and fully functioning nervous system.
Yeah.
Because you have to heal that inflammation from the inside out. That's really helping you to address the cause.
Yeah, and for the last 3 years, we've been talking about that in our office. There's been research study after research study that's come out that have said, hey, there are these deficiencies in the human condition that if you are deficient in cysteine, for example, which is an amino acid, that raises your risk of having inflammation inside of your liver, and it's going to help you not respond properly from an immune standpoint to recover from anything, from COVID or from flu infection or from really any type of illness and disease. Vitamin D deficiency is another big one as well. So we know that there's these markers that are going on, and unfortunately, for most of us, we spend time in our own lives. We're working for ourselves, we're taking care of our family. And so what our job really is to do for you guys is to do the research, to find the things that help you guys make it digestible and give you action steps that you can take home to work on doing better with these things overall. You've had a lot of patients in the last 2 years come into our office and say, hey, doc, I think I'm taking the right supplements, I'm not sure. Well, we now have programs and protocols to help you figure out if you're taking the right supplements, if you're deficient in certain supplements or key nutrients that your body needs. Because again, overall, the point of us taking care of you and you being around is that you can be at your absolute best health. So figuring out the ways to cut inflammation, to reduce your risk for heart disease and for high blood pressure and for pulmonary hypertension and all of these problems that, again, heart disease is the #1 leading cause of death in the world, and we see those numbers going up. So this is a big deal.
Yeah, it can be confusing, all of the data and the research you get from just consuming whatever kind of news that you do. And most of these things on this first slide are you might be thinking that it's for the older person, but actually there's another slide here. We're going to talk a little bit about the younger patient for folks that are under 50.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how old you are. There was a study that came out. I was listening to Dr. Pita Attia, who's a longevity specialist, and he goes, guess when we start developing heart disease? Age 0. Yeah, heart disease is a lifelong culprit. We all, if we live long enough, will die from heart disease. And so what you do in your teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, if you want to be healthy in your 60s, 70s, 80s, all the data points, and our philosophy is proving that too, that you have to start early. You don't get to be 75 on a bunch of medications and say, I want to turn my life around. It matters the things you do early on in life as well.
It's like the compounding interest, the financial advisor that tells you if you start early, it's going to be way easier. It's the same thing. It's worth it, and the sooner you start, the better.
Yeah, for sure.
So the next slide, a Harvard report And here's the headline: dramatic rise in cancer in people under 50. Altered microbiome, sleep deprivation, increase in alcohol consumption among possible culprits in a 30-year global trend. So we know, just looking back at each of our own experiences over the last 2 years, our behaviors have changed
dramatically.
We were forced to make behavioral changes, but we ultimately made different choices. And all of these things, microbiome, sleep deprivation, alcohol consumption, I mean, those are personal choices that were made.
Yeah. The thing that fascinates me with this is a a big study. This wasn't a small study that was done, and they're citing gut health. And we've been talking about gut health for the last 2-3 years. The way that our gut has changed over the last 20, 30, 40 years has caused this massive spike in cancer cases. So what they found is that every generation being born, there were 14 different cancers that were cited in the study. Every new generation being born is having the cancer at a higher incidence and at a younger age. So meaning, the generation ahead of us, people in their 5th, 6th, 7th decade of life, their cancer risk for certain cancers is actually lower than my generation that was born 30s, 40s. And that the children being born today have a substantially higher cancer risk at a younger age than others. And they're saying the trend of where this is going is that we're getting cancer younger at a higher incidence. I mean, it's the exact thing that you would hope wouldn't happen. You'd hope that with more technology, with better understandings of health, we'd be going the opposite direction. We'd be getting healthier and living longer. And we've seen this now. The past 5 years, the life expectancy in the U.S. has actually decreased. And so this is a really big issue that, again, the good news is it's largely preventable.
Yeah.
They're citing lifestyle.
So one of the great things about our office is we get to meet some dynamic people. We're an active office, and Susan, who's a nurse at Children's, she works in the GI department. She says to me the other day, every day they're in essence screening about 100 kids between 5 and 14 for GI issues. And about 10 of those are getting colonoscopies at that young of an age.
Yeah.
So this short amount of time that they've been living, the choices that their parents have made and their own choices for what food they eat is really affecting negatively their microbiome, because their GI systems are trash, and it's so sad.
Yeah.
And she pours into them as much as she can. But one of the things she said to me was, I'm doing good work. Unfortunately, they're coming to us too late.
Yeah.
At 14 years old, they have these gut issues already.
Yeah.
But the amazing thing is the body can heal itself. You just have to educate yourself and take action, and that's what we're here to do.
So for us, so for my life, I lost my mom when I was really young. And I've dedicated my life towards being healthy for my children and for my children's children. That's the goal. And so for both of us, we travel all across the U.S., we travel out of the country to come to these seminars where we learn about these topics, about the new research on studies that can help you guys. And so if you guys aren't coming to these seminars or workshops, you're missing a crucial part of your care. I probably go to 4 or 5 seminars a year where I'm learning how to better myself. And if you're not doing that, if you think that just coasting through life and just doing what you think is going to get you there, it's not. Even me, if I'm not educating myself on a monthly, weekly, daily basis to learn more about how to be healthy, I'm falling behind. And so this is a crucial part of your care in our office, is to be at these seminars, to show up, because the change that happens in you when you sit in a room of people who are all wanting to better themselves and you leave just with tons of ammunition to better your life, a lot of it ends up sticking. And it has the snowball effect where every time you come to these seminars, these workshops, you leave with something to get better. Then you leave with something to get better.
What's exciting is when you go to that first seminar, for those of you who are thinking about it, or you've been to dozens of them here, is you get to absorb the energy from everyone around you.
Yeah.
Nearly everyone is in the same position. They either are a little bit further than you are, or they're behind you, or right where you are, but we all are there just to work together.
Yeah.
Because ultimately you have to rely on yourself. For the last 2 years, we've understand basically looking at where the data is showing now is you have to trust the people that you can look at and say, yes, they're giving me truthful information here. They're going to help me to take action. They're going to guide me. And we are just really putting forth our efforts to make this seminar a dynamic one.
Yeah, it's the power of the Peloton. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go further, go together.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
always
really
like
what we embrace with that. So part of the things that we're doing with you guys that I love is if you're here, you're getting adjusted, you're taking care of your spine. That's one of the most beneficial things you can do for longevity, to keep your body healthy for the long term. And people don't think about that in the short term. They're thinking, oh, this is just for back pain or for neck pain or for, my herniated disc. But the reality is that back problems are the number one cause of disability in the US. So the reason we can't work, we can't take care of our families, we can't exercise, we can't do the things we love to do is because our back fails us. And the number 4 cause of disability is neck issues. So again, the top 4 causes, 2 of them are caused by back problems and back issues. And so just by getting adjusted here, just by taking care of yourself, whether you're in corrective care to work on improving the alignment of your health and change your body's neurology, or you're maintaining your spine in a good alignment with wellness care in our office, or you're somewhere in between, every adjustment is going to move you towards a more healed person. It's going to upregulate your nervous system to help your body heal better. So that's a huge component of staying healthy long term. The studies behind me that are written in the most small font you could ever find is that basically if you are getting adjusted, there was a study that said if you see a chiropractor first for your spinal care versus a medical doctor or someone else, it cuts your surgery risk to that of 1.5%. The national population will have surgery on their back 43% of the time if they have a back injury. And so the reality is what you're doing here is going to help save you and get you better health in the long run. And we fully believe that. I could do a lot of things for people. The number one thing that I choose to do is to work on adjusting you and then tailor your lifestyle to be a 5 Essentials lifestyle.
Yeah, the spine and nervous system, being able to positively affect that by detecting and correcting misalignments to allow that person to function at their best is like one of the most amazing things. You're telling me that it actually boosts my immune system. It increases my T cell production almost immediately. Oh my gosh, sign me up.
Yeah, T cell production being white blood cell, helper white blood cells that actually improve overall immune effectiveness. They've measured a 20% increase also in white blood cell production before and after an adjustment. So you want to stay healthy this flu season coming up, you want to stay healthy for years beyond, keep getting adjusted, plug into these seminars. I'll close with this, how to get tickets. If you're here as a patient in the office, you can get them at the front desk. You can also call our office to get tickets, 614-389-4945. Easiest way, go online. Our website, bealignhealth.com, has access to all the tickets. If you click the upcoming events tab at the very top of the screen, it'll pull up the tickets and you can order them right there for your friends, for your family, for everyone around you that you want to see get healthier. So please spread the word on this. Don't let this die with you. Let's make this an amazing event where we all grow and get better together in health. Take care, you guys.